Hey everyone, welcome to News to Astonish, where we discuss comic book related media and more. I'm your host Ronnie, and yes, I'm looking a bit spiffy today. I had to be somewhere earlier today. Anyways, today I'm going to be reviewing Marvel's new one-shot called Inhumans Prime, which will lead and kick off the relaunch of Inhumans Royals. To clarify on this, not only are the X-Men getting the resurrection treatment, but the Inhumans are getting the same treatment as well. Before I get into this review, let me just give you a brief summary and basically a background of the Inhumans. The Inhumans are a race of superhumans appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. The Inhumans first appeared in Fantastic Four number 45, December 1965. Their home, the city of Antaland, was first mentioned years earlier in a Tuck the Cave Boy story written and drawn by Jack Kirby himself that appeared in Captain America Comics number 1 of March 1941. The city was described as the home of a race that was evolutionarily advanced when human beings were still in the Stone Age. And who exactly are the Inhumans? The Inhumans are led by their king, Black Bolt, and his royal family consisting of Medusa, Karnak, Gorgon, Triton, Crystal, Maximus the Mad, also the antagonist of the royal family, and the teleporting K9, Lockjaw. Black Bolt has guided the Inhumans through some of the most harshest times in their history, including several attempts by Maximus to commandeer the throne, attacks by human renegades, the kidnapping of Medusa, of course, and the destruction and rebuilding of Atalan, and the revelations of the Inhumans' existence to humanity. Also, there's a lot of prejudice to this uniquely enhanced group of superhumans, kind of like the X-Men. So what caused the Inhumans to become Inhumans? Well, it's a little thing called the Terrigen crystals. Yes, that's right, and if you're saying to yourself that these crystals look familiar to you, well, you're not wrong. That's because they've made an appearance in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, which the Inhumans played an important role in the series, and still do to this day. Not these Inhumans, they're getting their own show, and the first 2 episodes will premiere in theaters this September. Anyways, back to the crystals. These crystals, if shattered or cracked, can emanate a mist in the air, and if a human were to come in contact with said mist, the human would eventually manifest superhuman-like abilities. Although this isn't always the case. Sometimes it can be proven to be fatal. If the Inhumans were to come in contact with an uncontrolled exposure to the mist, they would turn out to be hideous, deformed monstrosities. Alright, so there's a bit of a backstory of the Inhumans, and now on to the main event. This is Inhumans Prime. So we open up with the ending of the Inhumans and X-Men conflicts, and how the Terrigen gas cloud has been destroyed by Medusa, the queen of the Inhumans, to prevent further mutant loss. Yes, that's right, the infamous gas cloud is highly toxic and lethal to mutants. On the next panel, we see what appears to be Maximus the Mad, an Inhuman with mental powers controlling Triton, the merman, and tagging along with other characters like Lineage, who's also an Inhuman with sinister agendas. Shortly after, Karnak shows up to take Triton back, but it wasn't going to be that easy. Maximus decides to force Triton to fight Karnak, which happens to be his older brother. Tagged alongside with Maximus is an elderly man that goes by the Terrigen Eater. Terrigen is basically like crack to him. He can't just get enough of it. As it turns out, Maximus has a small piece of the Terrigen left just for the Terrigen Eater, and consumes it he does. This little piece of Terrigen upscaled the Terrigen Eater's powers only for a short period of time, and ultimately he ended up being defeated along with Maximus by the rest of the Inhumans of the royal family. After the defeat of Maximus the Mad and the Terrigen Eater, we see that Maximus has been taken into custody, where he's locked up at Atalan. But fear not, for his powers have been dampened thanks to the cells of the city of Atalan, which is the home of the royal family. This is where the trial of Maximus takes place. In the next few panels, we see some dialogue being shared, or should I say monologue, because Black Bolt can't speak, but not by choice. If he were to do that, he would cause major destruction. Just by the sound of even the slightest whisper can cause severe damage. Yes, Black Bolt is forced to take control of his powers by remaining silent and only using sign language as a means of communication. It's revealed that Maximus has been using the Terrigen gas as a weapon to kill mutants, and apparently he let the Inhumans catch him. What's more is that a secret is revealed to Black Bolt that's off script, and it's gotten him rattled and disturbed that he won't share it with his wife Medusa. I wonder what it is. Fast forward to the continuation of the trial of Maximus, it's shown here that the new rules will be implemented. There will no longer be kings and queens in the royal family, everyone will have a voice, and Maximus will be banished into the far reaches of space where no one can hear or aid him. I have to say, the writing and the illustrations are represented really well in these next few panels. The reason being is because as the trial is going on and Medusa is making her speech, we see a small panel of Black Bolt just looking depressed, and one can imagine how much goes through someone's mind knowing that their family member is being banished forever, and in spite of all the evil he's committed, Maximus is still Black Bolt's brother. You know, it's a terrible feeling knowing that there's no hope left for a loved one in your family. That to me is one of the most significant comic panels in this issue. The comic ends with a speech about how the Inhumans are going to thrive, learn to be better, and learn to exist with the humans and their systems. I should also note that this issue claims that there is no more Terrigen gas, supposedly. The comic ends with the final panel of Marvel Boy greeting himself and asking to come with him if you want to be awesome. Everyone, I actually had a great time with this issue. I look forward to reading more of the Inhumans and leading to the Royals. I'm definitely excited for that. I thought the art and colors were rich and fascinating. The story is very simple and straightforward, and easy to catch any comic reader's interest. Not too complex, and it's definitely a great way to resurrect a comic series. A few things. What was the secret that was shared between Black Bolt and Maximus? And do you think that Maximus's banishment was justifiable? I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm going to give this comic 5 stars. Everyone, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the series, and if you haven't read it yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next comic panel.